Try to see if the angle looks okay. I think it's fine. Great. So in today's video, I'm going to be sewing live. If you don't like live, don't rewatch this. We're going to be making the Annette handbag by Swoon Sewing Patterns, and I'm going to show you how to use Eco Flow Edge Flex edge paint. And hopefully the internet works. Whoa. I didn't drop it. Hello, Linda. Hi, Brittany. How's everybody doing? I'm eating a cookie. Okay. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming to join us in these fun times. I just have to make one joke. I just want to say I hope everybody is safe and taking care of themselves. But I've been practicing social distancing for a long time. Oh, nice. All those plants. And break. Yeah. Yeah. I always have to make a joke to, you know, cope. My favorite social activity is distancing. Oh, that hurt. I laughed. Yeah, it's a normal day. It is hard though. And I just want to throw out there that if anyone is affected by this and needs help, like, do not be afraid to reach out. Like, I can't imagine how hard this can be. Hey, Stephanie. Right. So I apologize, I've been away. I've been in bed a lot of the time. I'm just so tired lately. And like, anxiety says just stay in bed. I don't feel like getting out of bed, so I don't. And like, there's been so many amazing YouTubers popping up that go live to sew, and I'm just like, I got this. It's fine. I could just stay in bed. It's fine. But I do love doing this, so I'm not going anywhere. I'm sorry I've been gone. Hey, Caitlin. Okay, I'm gonna lower this a little bit. We're gonna get to the actual tutorial now. Okay. So usually when I make this bag, I don't love to add what I call the smiley face connector, just because I know it can weaken over time because it is raw edged. So what I've done is I added some Decoville light at the connector part. And then what I'm also going to do is we're using this Eco Flow Edge Flex. For some reason those words didn't sound right, but they're right. I'm just using black. I have only ever used the black, but I know there are a ton of colors. So this is the Craft Tool Pro. This is just like a roller foot little thing. So what you do is you stick the tip of this in, that's what she said, and then you just gently roll it against the raw edge. Like, you can see it kind of glooping up there, and you just want to kind of roll it away. There may be better tools to do this with, but this is the best way that I have found, and this does work on vinyl. So you can see how it's changing that edge. Yeah, I figure a lot of us, I don't know if you can see that, but it really does change the way it looks. Yeah, I figure a lot of us do have similar anxieties, so that's why I'm like, it's important to talk about it, you know? So yeah, I just laid in bed until like 1, and then I showered. Took like 4 naps. Wake up, nap. I'm a cat, okay? I've become a cat. And this stuff actually dries pretty quick. I've tried edge sealants that don't dry very quickly, but this is my favorite. I'm laying in bed now. Tracy, I get it. Hi, Karina. I'm on TV. Hi, Mom. So hopefully you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. They do have other colors. I've seen Lindsay of Lynn's Handmade. She like mixed colors together and I was like, my mind is blown. So that's so cool. Ben and Connor are where I left them, in bed. Connor sleeps on CJ's side, Ben sleeps on my side. So yeah, I guess honestly you could pour this out into like a little cup even if you wanted to. But I think this just helps like finish the edges. It can kind of help reduce any tearing too. Luckily, like my anxiety doesn't, it's so hard. Like I am in control of my anxiety most days and it's there, but you know, it gets the better of you. Absolutely. Your brain tells you like, no one really cares, or I don't know. It's stupid. Don't listen to anxiety. But like this is already starting. I'm not sure if you can see, like some parts are already dry. So that's great. So I will finish this one and the next one and then leave them for like 20 minutes, you know, work on straps, work on zipper pockets, and then they should be good to sew. And you don't want to gloop it up too much. And you can wipe it off the surface if you get it on the right side of the fabric, but you do want to make sure because it can kind of stain. But I love this. This is so relaxing. I have not found that it bleeds at all. No. And I'm only doing it on the raw edges that are going to be showing, and then a little bit up into this connector side here. I'm not going to go around all of the pieces. So yeah, I think that's pretty thoroughly covered. So I'm going to just lay that on some waterproof canvas. You can do a matching Sharpie. I've always been afraid. I know that Sharpies shouldn't bleed when they get wet, but like if somebody's out in the rain with their bag, that the Sharpie could bleed, but I've never seen this stuff bleed, so I don't know. Yes, this is Edge Coat. Do pretty overlays, yeah. I have definitely made this bag without the piece. So the Elaine handbag is actually my favorite connector to use on the Annette. Or you can do the hidden strap connectors, or I've seen people just use regular rectangles. But this bag was on my website and it was like a pre-order. I don't know. I need to update my website so badly. I just don't feel like it. It was a few years ago. And I actually sold the bag to someone at a con last year for like 45 bucks. And now this one is full price, so I'm going extra fancy with it. And it was $95, the bag. Just so you guys know. But yeah, usually I do the Elaine handbag connectors. They look nicer. Or if you have the Louise handbag by Swoon, they're very, very similar to that. They're just a little bit longer and more secure, I believe. This is so relaxing. Sorry, guys. I have a Brooklyn handbag to make later for the same order, and I'll be edge coating those raw edges as well. So I'm pretty excited. And I like to work in small sections with it. You don't want to clump it up. Oh, Inga, that's so fun. Yes, I hope to do the Brooklyn live later tonight. I was honestly hoping to start going live at like 1 and I just didn't. But I have an NCW to make that matches this and then the Brooklyn handbag, so hopefully we'll be live all day. I might get quieter as the day goes on though, which is like, it's fine. Okay. Okay. So that is finished. Looks good. Close that up. Oh. Usually I'll have like a little scrap of something to just wipe this off. I don't see anything nearby. Oh, okay. I got it. Sorry, Ben. Soap and water is a great way to clean this off, but sometimes I don't feel like moving. Yeah, I don't. So usually on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I work from 9:30 to 5 with Tammy. Monday was insanely busy, just with emails, catching up. So many custom order requests. I finally sent invoices for, ordered the fabric for. So I feel like I've taken my little break and I'm trying to get back to some sense of normalcy after C2E2 and being so lazy. So I'm gonna set these over here. Give them like 15-20 minutes to dry. And then before you touch anything, I do have it all over my hands, but I just like to make sure that it's not transferring because it does dry pretty quickly. Luckily I'm working with mostly black fabrics today, so we should be okay. Oh. Hold please. I thought I had my phone charging, but I did not. Okay, there we go. Now we're charging. Okay, let me catch up on comments. Breaks are, yeah, thank you. I feel like I earned it. My hair color, it's insane. Oh, Annie, that's exciting. I know ordering a rivet press can be very daunting. Hey Trish, yeah, I saw that. That looked fun. The John Legend concert live. All right, so I'm gonna get started on the straps and side panels while that's drying. For my main panel, it's a canvas that I've interfaced with Woven Fuse 1 Decoville Light where the foam goes, and then I'm gonna base the foam on after I sew on the smiley face connector. I wanna add it after the foam so that the foam isn't perforated there. So, grab my connectors. There's this and this. Just trying to keep things in order. Side pockets. Okay, hardware. Start with straps. So the straps are 24 inches by 4 inches. Tape down the center. Thank you, Tammy. I'm using waywack.com double-sided tape. This video will be updated with a blog post on my website that should link you to everything, hopefully. Oh, Inga, that stinks. Luckily, Friday you'll have plenty of distraction with New Horizons coming out. I'm super excited, but I'm actually going to visit my cousin this weekend. She moved from North Carolina to somewhere that's really close to me, so I was like, I can drive to come see you. Hi, Kathleen. Oh, 1541, that's so exciting. Yeah, I have not made an Annette in so long. Pura, what's your question? Brenda, I do have an Instagram. So I have a business Instagram that's more me, no. And then I have a sewing Instagram that is Sewing with Lauren. Always slept through the Monday after, yeah, season. You have to, and you than at a Comic-Con. They're brutal. I know I took so many custom orders at C2E2 and I got emails like, hey, I just want to make sure I didn't miss the custom order email, because I said I'd send them out Monday or Tuesday, and I was like, I cannot believe it's been like 2.5 weeks. And I haven't sent them. But hey, that just means that they're vetted and people will really want it. Okay. Oh yeah, I ran out of bobbin. Wow, that's the last time I sewed. Was when I posted, like, what was that, Monday? Friday. The last time I sewed was Friday. It's pretty sad. Okay, maybe I can move the camera in a little bit so you guys can actually see what's going on. I think I can zoom in. Hey, Kat. How you doing? So proud of you. Okay. There we go. I know, Jan, it's insane. I've used a spool of black thread. I mean, that's nothing new, though. I still have some Superior Threads black, but I actually skipped over it so that I could use my thread from Sunny Sewing Machines, because I just love it so much. The Amon Tex 92, I believe. The bonded poly. And I'm using my Thread Zap Ultra just to get those threads. And then I'll just set these straps aside. Get back to them later. Oh, Trisha, that's exciting. Making bags is just so much fun. All right. And then I'm going to trim off the excess vinyl on these. So they're nice and clean. Lauren, do you think the Woven Fuse Decaville combo would be good for the ugly naked guy? If those are what you have on hand, I would say that, I don't really know if you need Decaville Light for that bag. But Woven Fuse 2 is amazing in it. Are you doing like a woven fabric for the whole exterior? Are you using any vinyl? Oh yeah, the Dallas workshop. Oh my gosh, Karina, that is so funny. Okay, so yeah, an update on the Dallas workshop. We are still planning it for those dates. However, if we hear that the dates are extended for what's going on in the world, we will absolutely push it back, probably until June. And then if it's still not okay, then we might have to reschedule it for next year. If that's the case, Anne and I have talked about it. We will give refunds as necessary. We don't necessarily want to do that because we have invested a lot of money. However, that's not your guys' fault. So yeah, we're keeping an eye on it, but there's no like set decision for it yet. Just kind of like, we're waiting. We'll let you know as soon as we know, but we still hope that it can happen. Rainbow hair clips, as far as I know, they should be here soon. Hey Brenda. So yeah, when I know more, you guys will definitely know more. Oh, thank you, Aubrey. Trisha, I really like to use leather-backed vinyl. Trish, no, I think Sandra's here as well, but if you can't moderate, just let me know. We can deal with the orange door hinges on our own. I think Tracy's at home laying in bed. Okay. She's like, I'm just checking. So the little plastic boxes that I use are actually photo boxes from Michaels. It was just like a little kit that they had everything together in a larger plastic bin. I bought one of those. I think it was like $25, but I keep all of my projects in drawers, and then I keep all the hardware in these little photo boxes so I can stay organized. Oh. Aw, didn't even sell any plants. Hi, Stephanie. Thanks for joining us. So I am making my side connectors a little bit longer. Oh, you can buy them individually at Michael's. That's awesome. Or at Costco. I made them a little bit longer just because you can. And it just adds a little more stability. This is a 3/4 inch D-ring. And I think these were cut to 1.5 by 5. So it's just 2 of what the pattern initially called for. And it's going to be like kind of hidden behind the pocket, so. Codes for Woven Fuse, it would be so whatever. And that gets you 3% off. Oh, Sharon, the hair clips are so great. I know, I really hope the clips come soon. They are supposed to be here Thursday. The tracking hasn't moved. I understand with everything going on. Could be a little while. But we're patient. And I was honestly wondering if I should even like release the new stuff like Zipper by the Yard and the clips, just because I don't want anyone who's in a bad situation to feel like they can't, like they have to purchase these things now or they'll sell out or something. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Oh, mail order. Michael should deliver them. Okay, so I'm just used double-sided tape to hold it in place. Stitch length of 4.5. And then when I go over the hardware, I'm going to take this scrap of leather to protect the hardware. Pivot. And then I'm going to add a rivet, but you could also do like a really long box stitch as well. So leather-backed vinyl has, it almost looks like a cork board, but it's made with recycled leather, I believe. Hopefully you can see the texture, but it's really soft. I believe it holds up nicely. I haven't gotten any complaints about it wearing over time. Where do you get that leather-backed vinyl from? I purchase it from FM stores in Springfield, Missouri. You can also call online to order. But also Bo sells it, and they call it ultra leather, I believe, ultra faux leather. Close their shipping. Wow. Oh no. So the clips, I'll actually show you. I use the clips. Rainbow clips are coming, but these are just the regular ones they sell at Walmart or Sally Beauty. But I use them to hold things in place because, one, it's not putting a hole in the item, and two, it's really easy to kind of brush away. Jan, yes, leather skiving. So I'm actually talking with Sunny Sewing Machines to purchase a leather skiving tool, or the machine I should say, because the tool is painful. I just made some Gilmore Girls Lauren bags with leather, and I skived the connectors, and man oh man, that hurt my hands. Okay, so I just basted my foam in place, and then I'll add a rivet to that connector. Then I'll work on my side pockets. And then my smiley face connectors should be ready to go. Whoop. But yes, leather skiving is removing the skin of thick leathers to make it easier to sew with. They have handheld leather skivers, and the way I describe it is a little graphic, so I do apologize, but it is like shaving your legs, but the point is to remove the skin. So it's hard. Oh, well, Lindsay, I mean, the only way you'll know if you can do it is to just do it. I would say that the hardest part of the Annette is going to be the zipper. So if you can, make it with 2 magnetic snaps or something instead of the zipper. Unless the zipper is what you like. In which case, all I can say is good luck. Because even I have messed, like, I could still mess the zipper up today. Okay, so working on the side pockets. I really like to make these with piping. I'm excited I actually have a custom order for one coming up with Stephen King fabric. I'm like, yes, it's gonna look great. So you can snip along that seam and press with your iron. I'm just gonna press it. BRB. Lots of steam. If you're using leather, I would just kind of do it by hand. Vinyl or leather. My zipper is waving in the wind. No, I do not sell the Stephen King fabric. I do know there was a group that had some Stephen King fabric, so maybe you get it from there. And then I interfaced these pockets with just woven fuse and Then it's lined with waterproof canvas, so that adds a lot to it as well. Alright, now we can top stitch 4.5, and I will go around all sides. You can also choose to leave off these side pockets if you want. I've done that, it looks pretty cool. But there's also a bag patterns that kind of looks like the Annette without the side pockets, but it's a very unique shape. I've been meaning to try like all of those patterns. I just haven't gotten around to it. I just keep making the same old things because that's what people are ordering. Now we can add these side pockets on. I'm gonna fold them in half and make a little snip in the center. And then I repeat the same for these. Oh yeah, I still have to add rivets. Let me do that really quick. Oh, all right, bud. Cheryl. Okay, I put the post through the bottom and the cap on top. Wiggle it around. Set it. I think my dad actually like kind of broke. Oh my God, Josie, get out of my head. I really want a white cottage burger for dinner. All right, let's do it. Rivets are set. And a lot of times rivets aren't necessarily there to provide the main, what is the word? Like the main security your stitching should, but it's there as like a backup. So that's always nice. Kind of like 2 layers of, I don't know, security, just in case. So then what I do is I line up the center first and then kind of line up the curve. Strength, yes. Where are the words? Yeah, the side pockets are kind of useless. Oh, thank you, Livia. She said that she added the side pockets to hers as well. Or the piping. I love it with the piping. I will never forget, so it was October, the first time I made that bag, and it was like 4 a.m. And I was like, I'm gonna add piping. And I added piping to every single little bit of that bag that I could. But it turned out amazing, and then everybody wanted them. All right. So there's the side pocket added, so I'm gonna baste it on, and I'm just following that same stitch on the other side. You can increase your stitch length if you want. wallet I made with piping. Oh, awesome. It was a beautiful wallet. Did Ben get some good quality time while you're recovering? Yes, honestly, he did. I don't have the patience for piping. Piping definitely takes some mental stamina. The thread that I like best is bonded polyester and nylon. Someone asked me the other day, like, which brand do you like the most? And I will hands down say the thread from Sunny Sewing Machines or just the Amon thread is amazing. And I can't tell the difference between sewing with the bonded polyester or the bonded nylon. The nylon is going to be slipperier, so that is a huge difference, but the bonded polyester doesn't come in as many colors as the bonded nylon, so I just use both. Melinda, I will agree that closing this top zipper can be a challenge. Definitely not sure why it was recommended to use an all-purpose zipper when handbag is necessary. That wider tape is necessary. But you could also make the bag with a snap closure, and then Jessica from Sodakine, she added a recessed zipper panel, and I think that is awesome. All right, so my slippers are finished. No, they're the side panels of the bag. Those are finished, and now we can work on adding the smiley face. Big slipper, yeah, Karen. Too funny. So these should pretty much be dry when there's no shininess, and then what I do is I just run my finger along, make sure it's clean. All good. And then it's not shiny. Between midnight and 4 a.m. Hey, that's when I used to sew. And now we used Eco Flow Edge Coat. And that's in the very beginning. Want to get better at sewing bags first? That's totally understandable before you throw a new task on there. My For the Love of Change pattern is a really great one to get started with piping. And I have free videos so you can watch me make it before you decide whether or not you actually want to buy it. But I really love making that little zipper bag. It's so cute. Hi, Shirley. Hello to Brazil. The length my straps are is 24 inches. That is what, is it standard for the pattern, or is it 20 inches standard on the pattern? I can't remember. But 1 inch is wide. Oh. Okay. So we've got that Decaville light. We do have an amazing community of bag makers to ask questions. I love it so much. So when you slide your, yeah, I was worried about that. I think I cut my Decaville a little too wide, so I'm going to fold it in a little bit more. Oh yeah, I have to top stitch. So I'm just making sure, yep. All right, so what the pattern says that you'll do now is only top stitch along this end. Like basically just where you have it folded over. And so I just I just sew in a U shape around and back stitch around the same spots. And then I don't snip my thread. I just jump over and back stitch. So by doing this, 1, I waste less thread, and then 2, I prevent any thread nesting from happening because the threads are being held onto. Okay, snip all that. Grab some more double-sided tape. Oh, Shirley, I'm so glad to hear you love your machine. That's always a big scare for me, is recommending things and hoping people like them when they purchase them, because everybody's different. We all like different things. So I would prefer to have a little bit more fabric within the connector, which is why I don't love it. That is not quite a lot of backup, strength, etc., but there's that. You can buy my sewing patterns through my website, but I do not sell templates. You can buy those from Tops and Bobbins and use code SEWHATEVER to save some money. It's not an affiliate code. You just get to save money. What could be better? Okay, so there's what that's looking like. Hardware restock happening soon. Hopefully. I do have a giant hardware order placed, like more money than I've ever spent in my entire life. And hopefully it's coming by the end of March, but I'm guessing it'll probably be early April because I am out of a lot of things, and I'm so sorry for that. Someone was messaging me and they're like, yeah, I can't really make like a full bag with what you have in stock. And I was like, I know, it's hurting me, but I have to have hardware too for my custom orders. So sorry. But if there is something that's completely out of stock or something, just email me. And I'll see if I can spare 1 or 2 if you are in desperate need. But we did just restock the other day what we could. So, oh, got a top stitch. Alrighty. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's topsandbobbins.com. Templates. Hi, Rochelle. Ooh. Okay, and then we'll add some more tape. Get these set up. That's okay. I may not have spoken it with eloquence and victory. Right. Scrap. Okay, I'm gonna grab my ruler. Line these up. I think it's 2 inches from the top, probably 1.5. So making sure I center my ruler 1.5 from the top. Thank you, Kira. Thank you. Oh, oh. Yeah, Anita, that's amazing. Hello, Curtis. Hope you are well as well. Alright, it looks like it's gonna be like an inch from the sides. Yeah, just about. I think I should have added a little bit more tape to the connector. Okay, I'll do it now. Oh, my memory served correctly. Too funny. This fabric is my own design. It's Face Huggers from Stranger Things. No, not Face Huggers. Ugh. The Demogorgon from Stranger Things. Nailed it. Yes, I will show the foam when I have the foam attached. The foam is not yet attached. 1.5 inch from the sides. The foam, I believe it's probably like a 1/4 inch thick. I will say this is like quite a forgiving strap connector. Like you're not gonna notice if it's like super wonky. I mean, you don't want it to be wonky, but I'm just saying, people may not notice. Did I peel off any of the tape? No. The bottom, great. The one I didn't mean to. Love it. Thanks so much. Okay, there we go. 1.5, 1 inch, 1 inch. Luckily with this double-sided tape, you can always reposition and stick if need be. You can also fold both pieces in half and kind of line it up that way too. Less exact, but it works. Just saying. Okay, smiley faces are attached. And now we're gonna sew them on, so I'll zoom you guys in for that. It'll be a treat. Here is the foam. This is single-sided fusible foam. Only I'm not really going to fuse it, I'm just going to baste it. The thread weight that I'm using is Tex 90. Okay. As well. Okay. Shut my drawers. I purchased my foam from overstock.com. There was a really great sale around Christmas time, and I bought a lot of bolts. Oh, son of a bitch. Okay. I'm gonna switch to my small workspace foot for this. Just because that's the only way I can see myself getting close enough to sew that. Listening while painting, that's fun, Vita. But yeah, they sell the foam at overstock.com, Joann's. It's Hellon single-sided fusible foam. Yeah. small workspace foot is so cute. Oh, wrong one. Why did I have that out? Didn't need to remove the screw completely. I actually broke like 3 needles the other day while I was sewing and had to remove the foot completely because I was working on a leather bag. And I couldn't get the needle out of the fabric. Oh, gosh darn it. Small workspace foot attached. Easy peasy. I do like to leave my center foot attached. 1, it has that needle guard, and 2, I like the length of it because it's still able to like grip fabric. So my stitch length is set at 4.5. I need to lower. There we go. Again, I like to make sure I cover the hardware so I don't dent it or anything. And you don't want to backstitch too much over those connectors because it could actually perforate the vinyl and weaken it. But you do want to add just a few back stitches for stability because honestly the rivets aren't going to be able to be attached enough times to really add extra strength. Like they're going to go through such a small portion of the vinyl that it could actually end up weakening it over time, which is so silly. So what you could do actually is sew, kind of like we do on the Brooklyn bag, is just sew 2 lines. I think I'm going to do that. So 1 line under the connector and then 1 line like a 1/4 inch down. I'll try and kind of change the angle for you guys so you can see that better. Other than covering hardware, do feet mar your leather vinyl? It would if I didn't cover, yes. So hopefully you guys can see I've already added 1 line of stitching here, so I'm just going to come over about a 1/4 inch along the bottom to add the extra layer of stability to the connector without weakening it by adding a rivet, because honestly it would. So I'm just going to jump over to the other side, back stitch, come forward, and then back stitch, back stitch. And I'll grab my thread zapper. So while normally I would like to add a rivet, there's just not enough vinyl built into this pattern piece. Okay. So there it is attached. And then we do it again. Okay. Let me know how you guys like this angle. Also, I mean, it looks nice to me. Okay, so starting as close as possible. Pivot, add this little strip. And I actually have my hand on the turn wheel. I'm not controlling it, but if I start to go a little too fast, I can grab the turn wheel to slow it down. It always makes me feel like I'm a little more in control. Oh, goodbye. Oh, back here. Okay, so back stitch, pivot. Hi, Alice. Yes, Trish, you absolutely could. The only issue is the curve of this connector. You'd have to taper the length that you add, if that makes sense. Like, if you have a 1-inch piece that you fold down this far, well, it's gonna stick out here, so you have to like fold it at an angle, you know. So I don't know. Okay, so that's the only time I'm gonna need that small workspace foot. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch that out. Yeah, and that's why I just don't really use this connector for the bag. Like, it is very cute, it's super unique. Would never ever bash the pattern designer. But it's just not super sturdy in my opinion. Okay. I really need to like clean my machine someday. Okay. Let's zoom you guys out a little bit. I believe Decaville would probably be too much for the Sunshine crossbody. You could try 809. May wrinkle, or you could just do like 2 layers of woven fuse. I honestly haven't made many Sunshine, and I haven't made the crossbody, so I don't know. Okay, basting my foam into place. So the reason I did not fuse the foam is once you fuse the foam, when you turn the bag, it could very easily wrinkle. The Decaville and the woven fuse will help prevent that because they are properly fused, but if you've used that fusible foam, you know it can wrinkle. So I'm just lining it up with the bottom. And this is kind of helping compress the edges for when we put the bag together. Am I at a bobbin? Oh, okay. So I'm gonna do what I call a bobbin dump. Because I'm not super worried about the color of the basting stitch, I'm just gonna use whatever color I have because I need to wind more bobbins. And the reason we are not basting along the top edge is because there is no foam at the top edge, and that's to help with our zipper. This foam, it looks weird on the back side, like it wasn't properly fused, but it's not going to affect the bag, so I don't worry about cutting it off or anything. Let's see. Let's go ahead and add purse feet, and then we'll work on putting the exterior together, and then start on the lining. Okay, 5 purse feet. I just used 1 layer of Decaville Heavy for the bottom. You could use 2 if you wanted a little extra. Oh, okay, perfect. Susie said that the Decaville light on her Sunshine worked very well. Perfect. So I'm just adding purse feet 1 inch from the edge of my Decaville light. And then I'll add 1 in the center. And then I'll cover it with duct tape. Oh, I was like, if I can find the duct tape, where did I put it? Okay. Oh, great. So Oakla Roots has a good video. So Jan had a great tip. If you're using the fusible foam, you could put the fusible side facing towards the lining, and then at the end kind of iron your lining to the foam. That would work if you're not using waterproof canvas. And I have done that before, like with the Belle baby bag. I think I accidentally did that. Or I had double-sided fusible foam, something like that. Okay, and then I'm using duct tape to hold it in place. Hello to France. That's just where it goes now. Ooh, the bell. I almost said, that's a fun make, and I was like, no, it's not. It's not a fun make, but it's also not. Anyway, okay, yeah, I have to wind some bobbins. I'm gonna do 3. Because I have some other bags I have to make anyway. I am using a second thread thing, so I still want to use up this other spool, but we'll do it while sewing. Okay. So I see that you guys are talking about Decaville Light as a replacement for foam. And that can definitely work sometimes, but not all the time. But it's probably more of a personal preference thing, honestly. Sometimes you want that extra little bit of padding for the bag. Sometimes not. So yeah, that's personal preference. Sometimes you want both because you want it to have that extra little bit of padding, but you also want it to stand up on its own, and Decaville Light will assist in that. Okay. Rethread. We'll get this bag together. I'm gonna have to rethread in like 5 minutes. This was pointless, but it's about using it up. I love watching makeup videos on YouTube, and I love watching people's makeup empties, so I'm like, use things up. Even if it's thread. Like what? Oh. Yeah, I would say I go through like 2 thread spools a month. It may be different colors here and there, but on average, with as much as I sew. Yeah. All right, grabbing label before I forget. These are my old ones. I hate them. But I had so many that I was like, I'm not going to, but that's as far as it gets. But yeah, I had so many nickel nameplates that I didn't order new nickel, because why waste that money I already spent? But I definitely use nickel less as a hardware color because of it. Hello to Ontario. Ontario? Yeah, I definitely said that wrong. Sorry. Okay. Nameplate attached. I know foam and duct tape don't really stick well, but I do want to add just a little extra bit. What is the pink? The pink machine behind me, it is a chain stitch embroidery machine. Vintage, custom painted. It's my favorite. I haven't gotten to use it in a while, but I knew that would be the case. It's a for fun machine, not for work. And I'm okay with that. Okay. So clipping that in place. Melinda, I did a video talking about where I order my nameplates. I order my nameplates from my current hardware supplier. I don't think there's anything wrong with Bruce, but I like the metals used, or the thickness, I should say, of my current hardware provider. No, I'm sorry, I will not share that information. Hope you understand. Okay, folding that down and top stitching. But if you search within our Sew Whatever group, you'll see lots of pictures of people who have ordered nameplates from him, I believe, and you can kind of get an idea of what you're wanting. He is really great to work with, though. I will give him that. Okay. Hi, Melissa. Echo. What time is it?
The time is 5:19 p.m.
Okay.
Hope you enjoyed your Tuesday.
Oh, well, thanks. You too. She's so nice. Okay, folding this in half and making a little snip in the center. Because we can add our side panels. Yeah, you can put foam in the steam allowance. There is plenty of foam within my steam allowance. Okay. So I'm lining up the center snips, fabric right side together, and then kind of how we did the pockets, you're gonna add 3 clips along the bottom just to make sure everything is lined up nicely, and then we'll line up the top and then kind of work our way throughout the curve. And I'll definitely be grabbing my stapler. Yes, you can omit the foam from the seam allowance. You'll just not really be able to baste the foam into place because your foam isn't in the seam allowance and you don't want to baste on the main fabric. So unless you're quilting it or you interface it. Pretty much just adding the staples along the bottom curve, setting my seam allowance to 4. Oh, okay. Now we can get started. Backstitch the top. Make sure you watch out for your hardware, and then I am going to backstitch when I get to those side pockets. Just add a little reinforcement. And then I'm just kind of pulling up along the bottom curve, avoiding those staples, making sure nothing gets puckered. And then if you have to lift up, make sure your needle is down. Backstitch at that pocket. Backstitch at the top. Okay. Just running my finger along that seam. Feels good. Feels good. And then I will trim down my excess and remove my staples with my staple remover. It's like a $2 staple remover someone emailed me about. Casey emailed me about it. $4 maybe? But you just remove the staples and then spit it out. Okay, and then I'm gonna trim down the excess. Throw it away. And then we'll add the other side. Usually by this point I like to have already had my lining done, but I got caught up in the exterior. Just because now I'm going to be like, oh man, I have to sew my exterior still, or my lining. I can't finish the bag, but at least my straps are done. Because that's another one of those, like, you get to the end and you're like, oh, now I gotta make the straps. It's already done though. Alright. Stapler. Let's buy my cookie. Okay. Use the staple remover. Oh, good job. Laying it in the trash can. That's what I'm talking about. Alright, my basting stitch is coming out. That's no biggie. I knew it would. Yeah, the staples, if you don't have a staple remover, you'll basically just cut them away because they're in your seam allowance. But having a staple remover does come in handy. Is there one? Yeah, there's one more. It's like, wait a minute. There we go. Ben is upstairs sleeping in bed. He's taking my spot. Alright, so our exterior is done. I need to trim down the seam allowance. We'll get started on, I think I'm adding just 2 zippered pockets to this bag. We'll see what I have had cut out though. I think it's just 2 zippered pockets. Oh. Slacker. He really is. I think I have to turn this bag right side out to add the zipper. No, I don't. I am going to turn my hardware facing down just so it's out of the way and move on. Yeah, like I said, to the lining. Bottom, side panels, 2 pockets, 2 main panels. Okay, and we'll leave one of these up. So I'm just doing the usual for the zippered pockets, folding to find the centers, laying the centers together, and then marking out a 7-inch zippered pocket. And then 2 parallel lines. Gonna set that aside for now and do everything at once. Yeah, needle nose pliers to remove the staples, that could definitely work. Oh, that is not the right thing. Purse foot template. Get back to where you once belonged. And then I'll grab my precision snips to cut through. I still haven't even made my zippers. I gotta do that. I'm just gonna cut a really long zipper for the main zipper. I think is it supposed to be like 20 inches? Oh, thank you, Brenda. I appreciate it. Okay. Pulling that through. And then I'll iron. No, I'm going to make my zippers first, and then I'll iron. What are you? 25 inches. Well, we'll just make that the main zipper. Whatever. It's a piece laying around anyway. So I was thinking it would be cool if this had zipper tabs and you could add like 2 zipper pulls, but the bag just would not be easily made that way, which is a bummer. 2 zipper pocket zippers, so these are going to be about 10 inches. So much zipper tape. I'm going to iron these really quick. And I'm going to iron my zipper pockets using plenty of steam. Do I have? No. Well, there's a bit in there. And then with waterproof canvas, you want to make sure you don't iron it for too long or it will melt. So just give it a little bit of a quick press using lots of steam. There we go. There's the steam I was looking for. They're impressed. Are you impressed? Oh no, a dog just bit into a loaf of bread. That's funny. That dog is my hero. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my zipper pull close to the end. It's been a huge help. That's awesome. So I'm putting it towards the end so that I can top stitch the zipper in place without the pull being in the way, and then I'll pull it back in before I close it up, which is why I cut them to 10 inches. Otherwise, you definitely don't need it to be that long, but I find it's quite helpful. Okay, so I'm getting towards the end of the zipper, so I'm going to leave my needle down, push my zipper pull in, kind of re-close it, hold on to the ends of the zipper tape, and then backstitch over that. And this is nylon zipper tape, so I'm able to sew over it like that without an issue. I don't have my good iron back yet. This is the lower model Oliso, and it's not bad, but it's just not as good as the other one. I hate the auto shut off for 10 minutes. Like, it's on for 10 minutes and then it shuts off if you don't touch it. I'm like, I need 30 minutes, please. Please. Okay, so this one, I'm gonna completely close up. You only need one zipper pocket left open. why my light does that. I'm so sorry if anyone has epilepsy and was affected by that. Okay. So I can add my bottom here. And so I'm going to leave one side of the bottom open so that we can turn the bag through that easier. But this half is finished. I'm gonna iron the other side just one more time before we add our zipper by the yard. I'm using a number 5 nylon zipper tape, so it's got nice wide teeth and a nice wide tape, as opposed to number 3. Okay, make sure you leave your needle in, bring your zipper pull in. And then this one we're leaving open. To birth through. So I'm folding up the end about 1/2 inch before I start top stitching, thanks to my friend Danielle. And then folding it up before I get to the bottom. And then once I trim, it creates a nice slim seam to top stitch closed. Hello, Andrea. Thanks for joining us. Nice and easy. All right, so this is the one side we're leaving open because we left open that zipper pocket, so it's going to be easier to access. So we're going to be sewing shut like maybe 2 inches, more likely 1.5 inches. So back stitch, how much is that? That's 2 inches. 2 inches exactly. Okay. So yeah, 2 inches on each side. And you do not have to do this if you want to just birth through the zippered pocket or the way the pattern says to, you can, but this is about the same size. However, you don't have to worry about the zipper teeth accidentally hurting the bag or anything like that. It's just a little bit easier. So up to you. I think Clayton's home. I was like, what is happening here? So I'm going to fold this in half and mark the center. And then we're going to add the side panels. You can choose to open up that side seam or turn it to one side or the other. Your call. I'm gonna try and open it flat. Oh, did the ugly naked guy? Yeah, the zipper in the pattern, it is tricky. It's really cool, but it's a little tricky. It's tricky. Oh, is it? It's tricky. It's tricky to sew around that zipper. That's right. No, I'm done. Okay. CJ's washing his hands. Be like CJ. All right. Stitch length down to 4. You're going to start at a 1/2 inch seam allowance, but you can kind of taper it to be a bit more as you're going in towards the lining. You can sew through your zipper pocket if you want. I'm going to kind of have to. Oh, I don't like that noise. But you want to make sure you don't sew through the bottom of the zipper you're turning through. That would not be good. Alright, back stitch at the top. I believe my stitch length is a little bit longer than it would be on a domestic. So on a domestic, you want to use like a 3.5 to put together. I can't recall. Other side. I'm just gonna zip my zippers both to halfway. Unzip, I should say. What is today, Tuesday? And all I've done is maybe kind of make this bag. Jeez. Oh, that's not true. I FaceTimed my sister. Wash my hair. excess. What's up?
We didn't like pay for a True Green service or something, did we?
Mm-mm. Was it Hawk?
I don't know.
I didn't answer.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm guessing they just like did it and then like, this is how much it will cost if you want us to do this more. Something like that. I don't know.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Hey, Ben. He just looked at me like this. Ow. And now he's walking away. All right, lining is done. I'm gonna close up the zipper pocket we're not birthing through and open up the one we will birth through. Hope, whoops. And now we can get started on the zipper. Yeah, I don't need to turn this, I don't think. So what I'm doing is marking that like 1 inch from the outer edges by just creating a little bit of snip in my fabric. Okay. Then I'm using Zipper by the Yard. I don't know that I've ever made this with Zipper by the Yard, but we'll see how it goes. Can't be hard. So I'm gonna fold in the top edge at a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to start my zipper teeth there and clip it into place. Face down, you want your zipper facing down, wrong side up. And then just slowly clip along that top edge. And then whatever you decide to do with your excess seam, like your seam allowances, like folding it in or out, make sure you do the same everywhere if you can help it. And then as you get to that other side, you're gonna clip it, but then you're gonna taper sewing it. Okay. I feel like this is the least amount of clips I've ever used. There we go, that feels better. Okay, stitch length set to 4.5, we're just basting. Here's what it looks like. Oh, thank you, Jenny. And again, if you guys are on Instagram, yeah, clip it good. It's at Sewing with Lauren. I'd love to follow you back and see what you're making. Tag me, show me what you're working with. On. Just kidding. Not just kidding, but about the terrible joke I made. CJ! He's gone. Gone forever. And then you really want to make sure that you're not moving your zipper tape too much or causing it to wrinkle. You don't want to add too much stress to it. You just want to Ouija board hands it as we describe it. But when you get to those corners, you want to make sure you're moving it in place. And then we're getting to the part where it's time to kind of taper off. So I'm sewing straight I'm getting to that snip point, and then I'm going to continue sewing into that V. Just because it helps the fabric not stretch, and it's basting that vinyl a little bit more. Hopefully you can see. You cannot, but you can this side. So there it is, stitched in place. And then to kind of check your work, you can flip it over. Looks pretty good. So now we're gonna continue that on the other side. I like to keep my zipper zipped first and kind of line everything up. I'm gonna add clips to keep everything in place over here. And you want to make sure that your zipper starts in the same location on both sides. That's kind of a big deal. Otherwise it's going to look a little bit wonky. And if this tutorial isn't super in-depth, I'm pretty sure the one I filmed, like pre-filmed and edited on it, is a good one. So you can check that out. Hi, Connor. Is he doing the dishes now? What are you doing, man? Okay. And then if you are using Zipper by the Yard, please make sure that you are pivoting where you start your zipper so that it's not like raw edges showing and your zipper pull is just going to fly off. And then once you have it clipped in place, you can unzip it. And it's nice we've got this super long zipper here. Yeah, of course, edge coating is always one of those things. Like when I started, I was like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know what to use. So it was a little bit of trial and error. So always happy to share with you guys. So there is this so far. We're gonna start at this edge, the edge where the zipper trails off, and then work our way to the other edge and sew again over that V because it's gonna prevent stretching, etc. It'll come in handy, I promise. You'll appreciate it. Trust me, I've made a million of these. Probably not really that many, but it's a lot. It's too many. Okay. So I'm starting on the vinyl only because our zipper is tapered off. And then we'll catch up with the zipper. Hey, man. Okay, moving it back in place. Again, Ouija board hands. Oh! Yes, this is fabric I designed. Okay, I think we're going to be able to get this zipper on with the amount of thread we have, but otherwise this thread spool is empty. Here, I'll add some tension. And then you want to pivot as you sew around the curves, or the corners, I should say. And now we're at the V, where there's no zipper or anything. You want to put your needle in at the center and then pivot, and then work your way back towards the other side of the zipper. I might be able to get my lining attached. So there's all of that attached. And then what I like to do, so here's what it's gonna look like here. It's gonna be a little weird, but you're going to want to clip it flat towards your pocket. Hopefully you can see I've clipped it to the pocket so that the zipper tape is kind of out of the way. Let me snip that. Because otherwise, you can also kind of clip it to the D-ring. Yeah, that'll work great. Because otherwise it could get caught within your seam allowance and not look good. We don't like that. I don't want that for you. You don't want that for you. Okay, so because I have 2 zipper pockets on both sides, it doesn't matter which way the lining goes, so I'm just gonna throw it inside and line up the corners. First. And you're gonna wanna clip your zipper down. Make sure you kind of, see how it's wanting to flip up? You're gonna wanna make sure you push it down and kind of massage it flat. Especially along the curve or the sides, etc. I don't know that I would suggest stapling the top of this bag just because the staples could put a hole in the zipper tape and compromise that. It could start to fray. Okay, lining up the other side. And honestly, once you get it clipped in place, instead of sewing everything at once, you could sew the tops and then worry about the sides so that those are kind of basted in place in a way, and you know it's not going to shift on you if you're worried about that. Okay, I'm at that zipper on the side. And again, you're gonna wanna massage the zipper flat. Make sure you're not sewing through anything you shouldn't be sewing through. I have this one completely clear clip that is my strongest, and I don't know where it came from or why it's so strong. But I'm like, why can't they all be like that? So I am not trimming down this excess zipper tape here because again, it's adding strength to my zipper. It's not going to fray, and if it does, it's going to take a very long time before it pokes through the fabric, but ooh, we'll just throw this lighter around. Now it's less likely to fray. I need a drink. That's so weird. Okay. I think the thread will hold. I think it'll hold. We'll see. It'll be an adventure. Can you guys see it? No, it's out of frame. Okay. So what you could do is turn it and top stitch it from the inside. I'm not going to do that. I don't know why, but I'm just not. The Lauren and the Emily, yes, they can be made with domestic machines. I did have people who use domestic machines test them. Why am I so burpy? Stop it. Okay, so we're going to kind of flatten one side out. So good to see a friendly face. That isn't my children. Too funny. I'm gonna start at the top just because I like to start where I have a straight away. And I'm basically going to just follow my basting stitch by 1/8 of an inch. So we're sewing at a 1/4 inch seam allowance from the outside edge. You shouldn't be sewing through your foam at this point still. Basically, all we're gonna do with that is top stitch through it. My stitch length is set to 4. It wasn't, but it is now. And then as we get to the side, you're gonna wanna leave your needle in and pivot. Just kind of squish the other direction. And then we're at the V. So we flatten it out. And then as you get to that center, I like to back stitch one to reinforce it and then pivot. Again, back stitch and then come up. Leave your needle in and then rearrange, reclip as needed. Having a free arm machine or a cylinder arm definitely comes in handy, but I don't have a free arm machine and I hate my cylinder arm. And I want to talk about it. You can't make me. Oh, jeez. Okay. We're getting there. I think we can make it. And as I'm going through, I'm checking to make sure that my zipper is still in place. I can kind of feel it through the foam with my fingertips. Make sure you can see your lining as you're sewing through. I have had my lining shift before, and I was sewing and I wasn't going through my lining. That's a big bummer. Okay, so now we're at the side where the zipper is trailed off. So we want to be very careful here to make sure that we aren't sewing through the zipper in any weird way. So I'm just flattening it out, taking it one side of the V shape at a time. And again, I'll be continuing that back stitch and pivot. Feeling for the zipper on the other side, making sure it's in the right spot. Oh my gosh. Just such a little amount. And we're getting back to the beginning. Not today, thread spool. So we had like 15 inches of thread left. Oh, 22. Do I use vinyl when I make the Lauren? You can make it with all vinyl or just the vinyl accents. I pretty much just make it with vinyl accents, but it would be very classy out of all vinyl. I've seen some really great ones that are all vinyl. Yep. I'm not sure if I should check on my bobbin. I think I will because I have an extra bobbin. I'm just going to switch it out before I top stitch because, tell you what, you do not want to run out of bobbin top stitching the Annette. I mean, anywhere, but it's even worse. Oh my. It would have been fine, but too close for comfort. Of course, you're going to do that weird thing where you knot up. So naughty. Okay. There we go. Oh yeah, I got a birthday still. So I don't trim anything, but I will make a few little snips within that V shape. Just so we can top stitch it. Oh yeah, no, you can make it out of all cotton. For sure. Alright, time to birth. So we've got our birthing hole in the lining, and then we've got our zipper pocket. So I'm going to start with the bottom curve, kind of pressing that out, grabbing it in my hand, and pulling that out first. Out the other bottom. And then if you get any wrinkles, you can steam your ironing board and press your bag on top of it. Don't touch your bag with an iron directly, especially if you use any vinyl. It could be bad. So heat up the ironing board first. So before you close up any of your lining holes, what you can do is press the lining inside the bag, just kind of half-assed, and then zip up your zipper. Just kind of check to make sure that your zipper is fully sewn in. You can kind of tug along that seam, because honestly, your customer is going to be tugging along that seam too. Flip that around and zip it up. So, there it is closed. So it looks okay right now, but that's because we need to top stitch and add a zipper end to it. CJ's phone. I was like, what is buzzing? So you can gently press this from the lining side with a lot of steam if you need to. What I'm going to do is just kind of roll that seam within my fingers and clip. Nope, that's my heavy one. Oh wait, I need to sew the lining up. Da-doo-wee. Okay, so pull out my zipper pocket to pull out the bottom of my lining. And then we'll sew that shut. Oh, I bet I could shut my lining with my 22 inches of thread. Hello, Evelyn from France. How are you today? Span. What are you doing? There we go. Well, it's not alive if people don't see your butt. Yeah? Well, I'm trying to cover it. Clear spot. Or not. Well, sorry guys. Oh, Trish, do you want me to tell people about your group?
Josie was wondering if she should head over
Well,
or
do you guys want to just go get it?
whatever works out.
I mean, it's only pickup. We don't all have to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
She also said that she could get it or
Yeah, either way, we could PayPal her.
get it.
I am going to press this bag from the lining side just to give it a little bit of help. A lot of steam, not a lot of direct heat. Awesome. So Trish actually started a group called Bag Making Cats and Dogs, where people can post pictures of sewing inspired, what am I thinking? Themed items and animals. It's really fun. Okay, so I'm going to start on the back of the bag, stitch length at 4.5. I don't need these clips here anymore. I keep trying to eat my Juki pedal. Oh no, Spetzel. Spatzel? Hopefully I'm saying that right. Ooh, my favorite bag to make would probably be the Lola at the moment. But I do love the Emily tote by me. So you could turn this bag right side out to top stitch, but I don't. Just make sure you keep the other side out of the way. And you should be fine. And then roll that seam in between your fingers so that it's nice and flat. And again, if you've got your hands over where you're sewing, you should be able to feel through the other side to make sure that you're not sewing through anything you shouldn't be sewing through.
What would you like from?
Just a cheeseburger with onions.
Fries?
Yes. But also onion rings.
Well, I'm gonna get onion rings. So
Yeah, but you only ever let me have one.
So do you want fries or onion rings, or fries and onion rings?
Did I stutter? And did I stutter? And a chocolate shake. Okay, so we're getting towards that V shape. You want to make sure again that you're rolling that seam in between your fingers.
Oh, I think Josie's watching.
Oh, is she? Ask her if we're watching a movie. Or if she wants to play Amiibo Animal Crossing. She can fall asleep while doing that. Yeah, she's watching.
What do I want? Do I want a cheeseburger?
I don't know, you usually get a BLT.
Yeah.
I took a nap. I'm fine. Trish says, hi, CJ.
Hello. You just want a chocolate shake?
Yeah. Yeah, I want to dip my fries in it. I think the fastest I ever made one of these bags was in an hour and a half. Because I was so excited to make it.
And Ben is showing his butt to it.
Is it? No, okay. He's got his tail down. He's being polite.
Well, he did have it up for a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, they've seen it before. Hello, Claudette.
Did you hear back from the construction company yet?
Mm-mm. No, but the lady was like, it can take 3 to 4 weeks to get it back. And I was like, why did you even cash it?
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. And I texted the guy who was helping us, and I was like, I am so sorry to text you this late at night. Why did you guys cash my check?
Did he say anything?
Nope.
Josie wants me to check to see if her phone cord is still here. Do you know if it is or not?
I don't know where she would have left it. Josie, where'd you leave it?
It said on in the basket on the table.
I don't think so. Okay. Now we gotta add a zipper end. Yes. Why did I start making bags? Because I was getting into more and more making useful things. I mean, I was making doll clothing, but that's not extremely useful. And they were fun. Definitely Swoon were my first endeavors, and I still love them. The zipper isn't like amazing quality, but it isn't bad. There's that little dip right there, but I think can kind of be massaged out. Okay. Let's get the zipper end attached. So I am out of these zipper ends on my website because I'm working on getting a little bit wider of a zipper end. So it's taken some time. I apologize for that. Cheryl, I will have a cheeseburger too. Cause you're his cheeseburger, his tasty cheeseburger. I wait for you.
Do you want a drink?
No, that's what a chocolate shake is.
Do I want a drink?
Are you getting ice cream?
Yeah.
Well, no. I just got seafood off this. Silly Songs with Larry is the best. And now it's time to sing a silly song with Larry. Oh yeah. Okay, I'm adding a little bit of glue. Okay, you guys, I have to tell you something. Oh, I'm the dumbest. So I bought this big thing from Amazon. And I was like, yeah. Oh. No, it's fine. I cut the tip too deep. I think I just did it all wrong. Perfect. So adding that little bit of Fabri-Tac or any kind of glue is going to help strengthen that zipper pull. And then you could add a little bit of like Loctite to your screw, but you want to make sure you go super fast if that's the case, because it could prevent your screw from going in all the way. If not. Put it in another bottle. That's a great idea. I'll refill this one. Genius. But I got it. And it's giant. Oops. Benjaminity, you are the cat for me. He's like, never talk to me again. Put the old cap on that bottle. That might work. They're different sizes, but it might work. Sorry, that was really fast. Okay, so we're gonna add the handles. Wasted the whole tube of caulk. Oh no. I have to check the listing and see if this was out. Oh, goodbye, clip. If you cut the part the cap goes on too much, the top will not fit. Oh man. I think I was supposed to honestly just like put a screw in it, and I didn't. Oh, thank you, Kathleen. Yeah, it looks nice with the black. And my new fabric printer, because I can't use Spoonflower anymore, the quality of the fabric is nice. It's not as... I'm just so used to the linen cotton canvas from Spoonflower that I was really sad that I don't get to use it anymore, but the colors of this are just so vibrant, so that's nice. Okay, I'll move you back up a little bit, sorry. So yeah, there's the Annette. All finished. Well, it's not all finished, I have to rip it. I just lied. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or just drop them on the floor. there's a rivet scarce happening. Okay. Now we will add the handles. So I've been having a problem with Spoonflower too. They won't print characters. So I just found a Chinese supplier, honestly, to print my fabric. So Spoonflower for personal use used to print pretty much anything, but now they've upped their copyright laws, which totally understand. They have to protect themselves, and they won't print like anything even slightly remotely related to anything. Like, I got away with flying keys, and that's it. I can do dice, and that's it. But I get it. Yeah, yes. Absolutely true. I know that they are hurting, well, I know they're not hurting. I can't presume to know, but it's definitely affecting them. They had to send me a $500 refund for an order, you know? So I'm sure it's not fun for them, but they have to protect. And I'm sure when they started out, yeah, that wasn't their intent for their company, is to print like Phantom stuff, but that's what people want. So it's hard. Yeah, Audrey, lawsuits might be more expensive. So true. Because I read somewhere, I'm sure that it's fake, that if you got the fabric printed, it's not your fault. Like, it's whoever sold you the fabric. That could be totally wrong, but I mean, it sounds fake, but I read it somewhere. I read it somewhere. Well, I read it on the internet. I use 9x9 rivets. They're the ones I sell on my website when they're in stock. Don't at me. I really can't say how long the fabric took from the new company because I ordered it during a terrible time in China. Luckily, everyone at the companies that I support was okay. Everyone was safe. No one was injured or affected health-wise, so I'm thankful for that. Dropped another cap. Pop a rivet in your handle. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to think if I have any other updates to share with you guys. I don't think I do. Hardware, hopefully beginning of April. Zipper by the Yard, hopefully this month. Rainbow clips, same time. This is the regular sized Annette. There is actually the, there's the satchel, so this is the satchel or handbag. And then the traveler or commuter size. So yeah. Yeah, the side pockets, useless unless you shove it like that. Then they're not useless. But your bag doesn't look so great. Bag making cats and dogs. Very positive, uplifting group. Love it so much. Brightens my day anytime I see a post in that group. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging out while we made this bag. This is the Annette handbag. And it is Stranger Things inspired. I got nothing else. Maybe later tonight I will be making a Brooklyn bag, but it might be tomorrow because I'm also tired. And I kind of just want to do nothing. I've been really lazy lately. So again, thank you guys for hanging out, and I will see you next time. Bye. Oh, where'd it go?